Chumripsur, Namaste, hello. It was here at Phnom in Cambodia that the mighty Khmer Empire was born when Jayavarman II anointed himself king, breaking away from the Hindu Java Empire. In this series, we will see how the Indic influence was absorbed and adopted into the local culture and is still a pivot point around which the Cambodian culture and life revolve.
Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now I'm going to pause right here and lean against this entranceway because it's magnificent. It gives me a scent of something I saw once in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. And also I want you to appreciate the view here because this is the way of the Hindu gods. But there was a transition, like so many of the temples here, from one of those Hindu gods that we are on the trail of over to Buddhism. And if there's any temple that displays that oh so well, it is here. So this is part of our story. As we walked through that magnificent gateway, we come towards the central temple and look at it. It's beautifully looked after. We are miles away from anywhere and it has been an incredibly long ride to come here. But it is worth it because inside there are so many treats. And it is through this first doorway we get our first surprise. And that is, it is an original ancient statue. But what you would have noticed, of course, is the head is missing. There are two reasons for this. One is potentially it was looters that had carted it off in the night. It's so much easier just to steal the head. Or potentially it was those of the Khmer Rouge, those deluded soldiers who disagreed with so much, including religion. But as we move on, we see the central temple, and this is where we start to see our Hindu gods. It truly is a magnificent sight. We see the two gateways, both right and left, and of course there's one directly behind me. As we move forward, we start to get a hint of who this temple was originally built for, and of course its current resident. But have a look here, both left and right, we have demons. Now these look very much to me like the demons I see at Angkor Wat, that are telling the tale of the churning of the sea of milk to create the elixir of life that was fought over by those Hindu gods. And they seem to be replicated here. But now they stand as almost guardians to another deity. For here stands Buddha. As to how old this statue is, I could not tell you. But it is truly magnificent. And it is he that resides here now. But I don't believe it was always that way. And the clue was as we walk towards him. So let me take a couple of steps back and show you what I mean. Remember how I took these very steps? Well, there's something I didn't do, and that is to look skyward. Because up here we have another reputation of Buddha. He is reclining, of course. But everything is not as it should be. This is not the original form. Can you see the way this has been hollowed out to accommodate him? Well, that's because another god was once represented here in a lintel. And it's those Hindu gods that we are on the track of. And I can show you what I mean by just going over to the side. We move away from Buddha because our clues lay to the temples at the side. And over here is something that I can only describe as majestic. We are so very, very lucky to find it. It's above this doorway. We see something absolutely astonishing. It is right here. And I'll be bringing you closer, taking the camera and introducing you. I never knew this was here. I knew nothing of this temple. I can't find anything on the internet about it, nor on any of these specialised sites that are currently under construction. But when I found it, I was knocked out. It is so rare. I travelled over 35,000 kilometres last year just looking at temples. It's what I do. It is my very reason for being. And when I discovered this, I was amazed. It is such a rare find. If anything else, this video is all about these lintels, and there's 2 of them. So allow me to grab the camera and get a bit closer, because this shows the origins of this temple. So here it is. This would sit so proudly in any museum, because what we're looking at is exceedingly rare. Every single time these heads have all been hacked off by the looters, every single time. But look at it. And because the position of the temple away from the wind and the rain, they are in magnificent condition. And I mean magnificent. I have never seen anything that equals this. But what you need to cast your eye towards is the chap on the left, because that, I believe, is Vishnu. This temple really does show the change that these temples went through. Because originally built for our Hindu gods, be it Shiva, be it Vishnu, or my personal favourite, Indra, the vast majority switched over to Buddhism, and the whole country right now in Cambodia is Buddhist. But it is those original gods that forged a path to here that laid the very foundation stones. Yet again, here we see a depiction of Vishnu. And it is absolutely fantastic. Just like the other lintel I showed you, it is so incredibly rare to see these that haven't been mutated and defaced. It is an honour to see something as majestic as this. And it shows us for absolute certain our Hindu gods did come this way. And it is round the corner that we find that this temple must have once been exceedingly special, because look at the detailing. Look at the face of this lovely lady here. And they go around the entire temple. I've taken a photo, I'll show it to you now. See, have a look. Isn't that marvellous? And there's loads of them. And what is wonderful is they haven't been defaced. And there's a bit of a mystery here as well, for myself and just myself, but no one has ever been able to give me the answer. I'm going to flip over here again. Look, these are balustrades. Now, if you go into a Khmer's house, a Cambodian's house, you will see these on the stairways. You know, the style is still copied. But what I often see in these blind windows is a bit of a balustrade, and then the rest of it is quite simply not. We can see the square window. But why is it only partial? Because what often happens is you have these balustrades, these are knocked through, and you can actually look through like a proper window. But oh so often, it's half done. And someone said to me, oh, the reason for this is because, you know, the temple builders were probably, you know, called to war because they were forever at war. No, it's not. It just isn't. There is a meaning to this, but I've never found out what it is. If you're watching this and you know, please let me know, because it intrigues me. Now, what I think, just as a guess, is it's got something to do with mourning and death. When somebody dies, it maybe represents darkness and light, because I've seen this at Angkor Wat, where there is a temple dedicated to a dead king's father, and all the windows were like this. So it would make, symbolically, it would make sense to me. We have darkness, or, you know, and light, you know, the dawning of a new era, maybe. Now, these statues and this detailed artwork goes all the way around this temple. It's an absolute beauty. So where to end this video? Well, why not next to one of those ancient statues that are so exceedingly difficult to find, for they are so rare. Here is the canopy that usually goes up on the roof. It's fallen down. If we pull it back, we can reveal yet again that he's missing his head. It was taken away by looters or those deluded fools of the Khmer Rouge. But to me, it takes nothing away from this site. It is so very atmospheric, and it does demand reverence. And as we know, although primarily for Buddha, if you look in the right places, you can see those ancient Hindu gods that we are on the track of. As always, I ask you to comment. If you've enjoyed this video, then please let us know down below, because they are sponsored by the Embassy of India. And if you say you enjoy our little adventures in a faraway land, they may well just commission some more. And I would be truly grateful. So until next time, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care now.